When the perfect person comes along, you'll know it immediately. And all of the disappointment, the blind dates, and the swiping will have been worth it. You have no doubt that one day you'll find yourself face to face with the one you've been searching for, and that's your light at the end of the tunnel. You feel that possibility, that what if, in every conversation, and it energizes you. Every time you meet someone, you want to learn everything you possibly can about them, to help you imagine what it would be like to spend the rest of your lives together. That conviction is how you ended up on this date. The guy you'll be meeting is some friend of a friend's distant cousin, fished out of a pool of single men by your optimistic, or maybe pitying friends. Of course, you've planned it all out, down to the last detail. You've thought hard about your outfit and about potential discussion topics. You've practiced what to say, like you would before a job interview. An interview for your dream job, not just some unpaid internship. The whole setup makes you smile. You love the way these moments unfold when two people first encounter each other, both energized by curiosity. You love the careful words, the calculated hand gestures, the little white lies. You've told people you're basically an Olympic caliber skier, but the truth is you're scared of going down the blue runs. You go over the whole plan in your mind. You think about the mechanisms of seduction. You want your date to look at you with the same wonder and amazement as a person about to open a present. You walk slowly toward the entrance, savoring the last few minutes before this mystery person becomes someone real, made of flesh, bone, and feelings. And then, finally, there he is. You say hello, and he goes in for a kiss on the cheek. It's a little awkward. Your cheek doesn't feel like your own for a moment. You both sit down, a little clumsily, and take turns laughing politely, like people on a talk show. You order the sexiest sounding drink, even though you worry it will make you nauseated. You stammer something vague about the decor and the uniqueness of the walls, which are, unfortunately, just beige. Internally, you pray for the magic to kick in. You need some help from Cupid ASAP. You tell yourself to stay calm. You try to focus on things you have in common with this person and reasons why he might make a good life partner. So far, you haven't gathered much evidence. You start paying close attention to every word he utters. But the danger of paying close attention is that you might hear something you don't like. Or a lot of things you don't like. You try to see the best in this guy, but it's painfully obvious that he's starting almost all of his sentences with, "well, actually," which is not cool. It's a verbal tic, and an extremely annoying, condescending one. You can't help but notice that he hasn't asked you a single question, which could be seen as a little self-centered. Still, you give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's just shy. Sometimes great people give bad first impressions when they're nervous. But after 3 hours, as you listen to this guy tell an extremely detailed and serious story about his recent boomerang throwing championship, you can't take it anymore. You order another cocktail to give you the strength to make it through. You've done a heroic job of saying, "Really? That's awesome," and "Wow," but you've had enough. Clearly, you and this person have nothing in common. Your short-lived dreams of a romance with your friend's distant cousin are dead. You don't want to share anything with this guy ever again, except maybe the cost of these drinks. Though you ought to be used to disappointing dates by now, you're suddenly overwhelmed with exhaustion. You wonder if all this is really worth it. You're about ready to lay down your sword, or maybe use it to stab Aphrodite and Cupid and whoever else was supposed to help you out with this whole falling in love thing. Your friends were right all along. You've been acting ridiculous, drowning in childish fantasies about love. As you walk home, all roads point to the nunnery. But for some strange reason, you feel a ray of optimism stirring within you. And it's not just the cocktails. How is it possible that after such a disastrous date, you're still holding out hope that the love of your life is waiting around the corner? Are you completely crazy to still believe in love? You need to call in some backup to reassure you.